With so much of the world in love with sports, we wanted to know, can sport be used to build peace? The Democratic Republic of Congo has witnessed much war and suffering over the past 20 years, with an estimated 5 million deaths related to the conflicts there since 1996. The town of Pinga in the DRC has been the site of horrific violence, with rebel groups and government forces clashing there as part of the country's ongoing civil war. So it's no surprise that tensions remain between the main groups in the small town in North Kivu. When global organizations Search for Common Ground got to Pinga, the relationship between the Nyanga and Hundi communities there was at a breaking point.
We're no longer talking to each other. They refuse to speak to each other, go to the same central locations, community locations. They refuse to have any sort of contact with each other.
Opening a direct dialogue about the conflict wasn't really an option for the ethnic groups in Pinga. So instead, Search for Common Ground arranged a soccer match.
Even though it wasn't necessarily about conflict, it was about social cohesion. That was the initial communication and message.
With teams made up of half of one group and half of another, communities that are otherwise in conflict can begin to communicate, rely on, and work with each other in a very real and concrete example. Organizer Rigobert Luhinzo said this game, and sport in a wider sense, has a major role to play in de-escalating tension and is an easy and inexpensive way of breaking down barriers.
It's probably helpful in any environment, but in environments that are in conflict, we find this to be one of the only ways to get people to come together.
Sport has been emerging as a powerful peace-building tool for some time. For example, did you know that a ping pong tournament in 1971 is credited with breaking the diplomatic ice between the United States and China, leading to the restoration of full diplomatic relations? But sport has really gained traction as a peace-building tool in the last few years. Africa on the Ball is another organization that realizes the value of sport in bringing divided communities together. Co-founder Andrew Jenkin says he saw an incredible example of this through his work at a school in Tanzania. Social divides were very obvious there, especially between Asian and African students. But through sport, barriers were broken down and students began to integrate more.
And because I think that's the really important thing, is that, it doesn't matter what background you're from, social class, status within society. With football, the rules are the same for each side and you're working together on the same team. And I think that's just a really key message. And because anyone can play sport anywhere around the world, it can be a really important mechanism for bringing people together.
This is Brandon Richardson, reporting for Peace News.